Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Davey Backlog. I am your host, Davey, and today we're back with not a game, but a Nintendo Direct. In fact, it's the final Nintendo Direct of the original Switch era. So, we're going to be witnessing history, as the stream title suggests. The Switch has been going strong now for about 8 years, I think even a little over that. And personally, I was wondering if Nintendo would do another direct before the big Nintendo Switch 2 blowout that's supposed to be happening next week. But as a matter of fact, they just announced it yesterday. They are doing one last Switch 1 focused direct. And yeah, figured why not witness this moment in history together? So we'll check it out, see what games are announced, film my reactions, and definitely have some stuff to chat about once it's all said and done. So, thank you for tuning in, as well as those who may watch this on YouTube later. This is also my first reaction stream, so my first is the Switch's last. So that should be interesting. But yeah, I definitely wanted to be able to share this moment with you all my followers, as well as any on YouTube that may watch this later, and just kind of have my reactions cataloged so that way I can go back and relive the moment whenever. Of course, if anything happens with the stream, whether the audio or the video is buggy or laggy, by all means, just let me know. I will do my best to fix it on the spot. But now we're just in that waiting period. So the live stream is supposed to start in about 13 minutes. And then we'll see what's left for the original Nintendo Switch. And what's interesting is that as of this moment, Nintendo only has two other games confirmed for the original Switch. And I'm talking about like their own first party games. There's other third party stuff coming, of course, but at the moment, there's only two games that we know Nintendo still has yet to release for this thing, which are Metroid Prime 4 and Pokemon Legends ZA, both of which I plan on buying when they come out, because I'm a big fan of both of those franchises. But yeah, aside from that, if Nintendo's got anything else up their sleeve, they're going to reveal it here this morning. I can probably say safely that Metroid Prime 4 will happen. I think that's going to be like the big showcase, the big hallmark game of the stream. So I feel pretty confident saying that we're going to get more footage of that, as well as maybe even a release date. Pokemon Legends ZA is... Oh, good morning, King. Glad you could hop on and join me. Always good to have you here. I was kind of just... I don't know what point you hopped on, but kind of just going through and summarizing what Nintendo has confirmed that they have planned for the original Switch, which is, yeah, just two games, Metroid Prime 4 and Pokemon Legends ZA. So I can guarantee we'll have Metroid Prime 4 here. I would be completely shocked if not. But I feel like we'll get at least a new trailer, if not a release date for that. And then Pokemon Legends ZA, it's a little more iffy. I feel like there's a chance, because again, those are the only two games we know that Nintendo's making for the original Switch. I feel like there's at least a chance that we'll see some new footage of it. I don't know if it's going to be like a big blowout like we had at the Pokemon Presents a few weeks back, but some new footage. There's lots of rumors that there's going to be new Mega Evolutions in this one, because it takes place in Kalos, and that's where Mega Evolutions were introduced. So I feel like there is a good chance that we'll see maybe some new Mega Evolutions, because if they got as many in this game as is being rumored, it makes no sense to like keep that a secret so long. They should at least show off some of them. So that could happen. But what about you guys, King? Is there anything that the Switch didn't get that you're hoping maybe it will get before this chapter in Nintendo's history is closed? Like, is there anything like, oh, I wish they would have added this to the Switch? It's already got everything but just this one game. Anything that you're hoping to see announced in this presentation? I think for me, it's kind of weird that they have the Mario 3D All Stars collection, which has like Mario 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy, but it doesn't have Galaxy 2. I feel like it's weird that we have Galaxy 1 on Switch, but not Galaxy 2. It's almost like you're missing half the game because those two games really are just like one complete package. So it would be really cool if they add Galaxy 2, maybe for like Mario's 40th anniversary. Ah, nice. I see what you said there. So, piqued your interest in Metroid, have I? You know, it's funny. There's rumors too that Metroid Prime 2 and maybe even 3 are going to get a remaster on the Switch. And the timing of that would be really funny if it happens because we just finished streaming Metroid Prime 2 last week. So it'd be like, oh, we got a remaster. And if they announce that, unfortunately, I probably won't get it because I've already got 2. We beat it. Don't need to play it again. Um, and 3 was really made with the Wii in mind. So I'd rather play it the way it was intended to be played. I'm sure the remasters will be great. Um, you know, they did a fantastic job with Prime Remastered. So I feel like there's definitely a market for 2 and 3 to get remastered, plus having like the whole Metroid saga on Switch would be amazing. We already have like the whole Pikmin saga, the whole Xenoblade saga. Why not add one more, right? So I mean, definitely a good thing if they announce those, but I probably won't get them because of what I mentioned, having beat 2 and um, wanting to play 3 the way it was meant to be played. But we'll see. We'll see if that ends up happening. Oops. Almost tugged on a cord by accident, almost pulled the laptop with it. But yeah, so there's that. There's also rumors of a remaster of one of the Kirby games for 3DS. A lot of people have been talking about a remaster for this one called Kirby Planet Robobot. So there's a good chance we may see that remaster here. Plus, Kirby gets games pretty often on Switch. So what's this? You mean you don't want to relive Prime 2 all over again? I do like that game. Like, don't get me wrong, it had its ups and downs, but I still like. I don't regret playing it. I still very much enjoyed the experience. Just like any hero's journey, it had its ups and downs, highs and lows. So I've experienced enough with that game where I don't feel the need to play it again. And honestly, I said the same thing about Prime 1, and Prime 1 I liked more. It's just with those Metroid games, at least with the Prime games, you explore every. Oh, Sun Chaser, good morning. Good morning to you. Glad to have you here. Thank you for joining the stream. We're kind of just going through our predictions of what we think Nintendo will show off at this Direct. Um, but yeah, I feel like with the Metroid games, um, at least for me, once you've played through like Prime, Prime 2, etc., you've explored every nook and cranny of that game world that you don't really need to experience it again. Unless you really just want to relive it, which is understandable. If you love the game that much and want to relive it, play it again. But by the time I was done with Prime 1 and Prime 2, I'm like, I'm satisfied. I've seen everything I want to see in these two worlds. I don't need to play it again. Doesn't mean I don't love the game. Again, Metroid Prime 1 is, I consider, one to be, stumbling over my words. It's the excitement. I consider Metroid Prime 1 to be one of the best games ever made, but I was thoroughly satisfied with the experience that I had. Just 3D. Because I started with Prime. Like, Prime 2 was the very first Metroid game I ever played. And as far as the 2D ones go, really, I've only played Dread, which I'm still working on. So I can't say that about the 2D Metroids yet. But for the 3D ones, like I've completed Prime Remastered, I've completed Prime 2, and I'm pretty satisfied with my experience with both of those games. Like I don't need to go through and re-experience them. Rather, I'm much more excited to see what the future of Metroid Prime holds, which can almost guarantee we will see some of that in this presentation today. Like really the iffy thing is whether we get the remasters, but Prime 4 I feel is a lock. And every other YouTuber, Twitch streamer probably agrees like we'll see Metroid Prime 4 here. Hopefully get a release date. But yeah, very excited for that. Very excited for Legend ZA. There's some third-party stuff that I'm looking forward to as well. I feel like we'll probably get a glimpse of those games as well. I don't know how much new stuff they could really show off, but there's Capcom Fighting Collection 2. Very excited for that because I've never played like Power Stone or Rival Schools or any of those old Capcom games it includes. There is a remake of Trails in the Sky coming out, which even though I haven't played a lot of the Trails games, I've absolutely loved what I have played. And that's the very first game in the series, so I'd love to start the story from the beginning. I think the release date is July for Metro. Yeah, I could see that being a summer game, totally. Because honestly, they've been working on it for so long. For those who don't know, Metroid Prime 4 was announced when the Switch presentation happened, which should be about like 8 years ago. And I think Bandai Namco was working on it, and they just weren't satisfied with how it was turning out. So they literally scrapped the whole development, made an announcement in like a little Nintendo YouTube channel video, and started from scratch with Retro Studios, which is the company that made the previous 3 Metroid Primes. So yeah, essentially they scrapped it and started over, and that's why we're getting it so late now. Uh, it's kind of like the bookends. It's like we got announcement before the Switch came out, and now as the Switch is ready to bow out and make way for the Switch 2, we're finally getting Prime 4. So kind of poetic in an interesting, weird way. Real quick, let me make sure. Okay, yeah, the video's live. Just wanted to make sure there. So yeah, and I'll be going full screen once the actual presentation starts. So hopefully, even though it's like within an overlay, you still can see everything pretty clearly. All the trailers and other goodness. But yeah, what else? What else could they show here? I've seen rumors of a remake of Fire Emblem Genealogy of the Holy War. That's like one of the older Fire Emblem games. Let's see. Did they have a release date for Capcom Fighting Collection? Yes, that is coming out in mid-May. So just under 2 months from now, we'll be able to relive all those Capcom classics. Yeah, excited for that. Oh, they did announce recently the remasters. No, I guess they're remakes. The line between remaster and remake is kind of hard to differentiate sometimes, but they announced HD versions, I should say, of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4. So I could see Nintendo throwing a trailer of that in here. I'm also really, really excited, as King well knows, for Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. So a release date for that would be awesome, because I really want to play that game as soon as possible. I think those are probably like if I had to give my top 5 games I'm most hyped for original Switch, it would probably be like Metroid, Legend ZA, Trails in the Sky remake, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4, and Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, I think. Oh, and Capcom Fighting Collection. So I guess that's 6. But yeah. There's also a Hunter x Hunter fighting game coming out, I think in the summer. That should be interesting. It's like Marvel vs. Capcom with Hunter x Hunter characters. Hope it's good. But we could also see that here. You know, Professor Layton I never got into. I mean, I didn't really get to give it much of a try, but I think I sampled one of the games, but didn't get very far. Oh, and with that, we're ready to start. Let's do this. Metopia. You're not the only one who wants that, Zolan. I'm sure there's others who would love a Metopia sequel. Oh, I know what this is. There's still 2 parts of this package we didn't get yet. Also, let me know if you guys can hear it okay, because this is my first time doing a stream with computer audio versus video game audio. Oh, this is cool, though. So yeah, they did the HD 2D version of Dragon Quest III. Oh, awesome. Thanks, Sunchaser. Yeah, they did the HD 2D version of Dragon Quest III, but they've never showed footage of 1 and 2, even though they did confirm they're making that. So this is our first glimpse for the Dragon Quest fans here at the 1 and 2 remakes. It's funny how much that HD 2D style blew up. Like, I see people saying like, "Oh, I want Chrono Trigger or Pokemon Black and White in the HD 2D style." It became like a very popular thing. Honestly, I see why. It looks beautiful. It's like you still got that retro charm, but with modern production. Oh, no release date besides like the year.
Hello everyone, I'm Shinya Takahashi, and I'll be your
Takahashi-san.
today's Nintendo Direct. Today, we'll be providing information on...
Interesting, they started with Dragon Quest and not a Nintendo game.
We'll also have a Nintendo Direct for Nintendo Switch 2 on April 2nd.
Yep, I'm planning on streaming that too.
As well.
That's going to be even bigger than this
What
one.
you just saw was Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD from Square Enix.
I thought they're Square Enix. Have I been saying it wrong this whole time?
What kind of adventure awaits? We hope you're excited for more information in the future.
I never got into Dragon Quest. I don't know. The games definitely look beautiful, but
Escape from dire straits.
no immediate plans to buy those. Also, pardon the sniffling. I'm still getting over that cold or whatever I had last week. No sleep for...
In the Eye, the Somnium Files series.
Hey, Backline Front. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for tuning in.
Sophisticated AI called Iva.
Glad you could join us for the direct.
Your mission is to track down Iris, an internet.
I don't know if you got to see the beginning, but so far, besides this game here, they've only shown off the Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D remakes.
Dive into a subject's dreams to reveal clues hidden deep within their psyche. And solve.
For me, the question is, are they going to end with Metroid, or are they going to like throw that in like halfway?
Everything you learn will bring you one step closer to the truth. Uncover what's hidden in reality and dreams to rescue Iris.
Is this a sequel, or...
No sleep for Konami.
Yeah, oh, from AI to Somnos File, so it's like a spin-off, I guess, of that game.
Switch system, July 25th.
Oh, cool, glad you didn't miss anything.
Supernatural.
But no, appreciate you hopping on and joining us. It's always more fun to watch these with friends. Oh, this is that, who makes this? This is a game they showed off in a previous direct. It's like a detective game.
Action RPG returns with remastered HD
Oh no, actually no, this is something separate. I thought this was like that ghostly detective game that they showed off previously. How long is the presentation? I think they said around 30 minutes, if I were to like quote them directly. Oh boo, that's like some Megami Tensei type thing. Not a big fan of this series.
Real-time battles alongside demons you summon. Work with your demons to strike an enemy's weak point, then follow up with a power.
Yeah, this was like Atlus's original flagship franchise before they did the Persona spin-offs, and Persona blew up and became its own flagship franchise. Well, actually, Sega owns Atlus. That's the thing. Yeah, So Sega technically owns Megami Tensei, Persona, all the games they make.
As he uncovers a conspiracy that will shake the
So if you think about it, you could get Persona content in like a Sonic or Sega crossover game,
the soulless army launches
which would be really cool. Like I know they got Sonic Racing Crossworlds coming out. That would be so cool if like they started adding
today.
guest characters from like Persona, Yakuza.
Consume dark.
There's so many Persona-like games. I get. Yeah, that's so true.
With your memories gone, you have been summoned to
Oh,
a
so this
strange,
game, they
unfamiliar
showed this off at the Game Awards.
where you're greeted by a
I don't know if you've seen that series on Amazon called Secret Level. It's like an anthology series about different video games. They had like this really weird one about Pac-Man that was nothing like Pac-Man. Very dark. They're actually making a game based off that interpretation of Pac-Man, which is what we're looking at here.
You can phase shift and combine with Puck to explore areas you couldn't reach before.
Yeah, exactly.
Likely, the creatures in
That's kind of like how
world
Capcom always reinvents Mega Man.
when facing impossible
Namco's like, you know what? We should reinvent
can
Pac-Man.
temporarily fuse into the Gaia form to unleash powerful attacks.
I mean, I will say, this looks a lot better than the short
You'll collect resources
from Secret Level.
that can then be used to enhance your abilities.
I mean, maybe I'll try it. I don't think it's going to be super expensive either when it comes out.
To uncover Puck's true goal.
Oh, it's not even called Pac-Man. He's just called Puck.
This cruel world. Experience a dark twist on the iconic Pac-Man when Shadow Labyrinth launches on Nintendo Switch July 18th.
It's like, you wouldn't even be able to tell it was Pac-Man unless you were looking at the O in that logo.
The rhythmic march begins.
Ooh, hold on. This is a Sony game.
Remasters of Patapon
At least it isn't Concord.
are drumming onto Nintendo
Oh, man, yeah.
One bundle.
I remember looking at an article that reviewed every level, or sorry, every episode of Secret Level,
For
because I wasn't planning on watching it except maybe like the Mega Man episode.
them forward.
They reviewed each one, and I remember they mentioned like how they were hoping that
Them attack.
the Concord episode would at least be better than the Concord game that hardly saw the light of day. But they're like, no,
Patapons enter fever
it just felt like a extended promo for the game. So Concord is officially dead,
the horse-riding Kibapon to the
unfortunately.
savvy Tatepon.
Now this is surprising though. This is a Sony franchise, last I checked. So I don't know, did Sony lose the rights to this? Like, how are we getting this on Switch?
So you can advance to the beat of your own.
If anyone played PlayStation All-Stars, which I feel like I'm one of the few people that like that game,
Patapons and
Um,
march forth.
the God of War stage crosses over with these guys. Because every stage in that game crossed over with another game. So the God of War stage got invaded by these little guys.
Welcome to Zephyrtown.
Oh, I think they did, Zolan. I think they refunded the people who bought that game.
This is where your new life begins.
What is this, Fantasy Life? Oh! This is basically Harvest Moon.
Popping up on the Nintendo DS system. This immersive farming and life sim has no shortage of activities.
Yeah, these games are called Story of Seasons in Japan, if I'm not mistaken. And we were calling them Harvest Moon here. But now we've since like adopted the actual Japanese name.
Then sell your produce and other wares at the town's weekly bazaar.
See, I would get into this, but Stardew Valley exists, and I feel like I should play that
Once
instead.
the famous market regain its former splendor,
Oh, hi Iris Flower,
you
welcome.
can also get to know the locals
Thank you for joining.
Spend more time with you.
and maybe nurture a relationship. if
Yeah,
you
it's funny how like Stardew Valley I think took inspiration from Harvest Moon and probably some other games, but like ended up surpassing them all.
Plus, taking advantage of
And that's just from what I hear. I haven't played it yet, but maybe one day.
and other tasks a breeze.
Oh man. See, okay. Backline, you are spitting facts right there. Like, Chrono Trigger not being on Switch is one of the biggest omissions in my opinion. Like, it's on Steam. How hard would it be to like at least get the Steam version on Switch?
August 27th.
Yes, actually, fun fact, Iris Flower convinced me to try Rune Factory 4. And I say like try as in I went out and bought it, but I haven't started it yet. But that will be like my first foray into farming sims is Rune Factory 4. And then hopefully Stardew Valley once it goes on sale. because I know they'll put it on sale at some point. They've done it before, but... Ooh, here we go. Okay, so they're not ending with Metroid. So that means something else big is being saved for the end. Yeah, Zolan, same. Yeah, that is way earlier than I was expecting. Oh my god, it looks so pretty.
This is the unknown planet of Euros.
Interesting planet name.
Here, Samus finds a verdant jungle with a colossal tree.
Oh my god, it looks so good.
In order to survive and escape this planet that she was
If you think about it, we haven't gotten one of these games since the Wii.
Samus must scan stone
Like,
figures
the jump in graphical quality has to be huge, and so far, yeah, it's looking pretty good. Oh, that's cool, she does that with her fingers when she scans stuff.
She's not alone. though.
America, explain!
Alien creatures
Why you say Arkansas?
are waiting to strike.
Okay, what do those guys look like? I feel like I've seen an enemy that looks just like this. Maybe those things from Twilight Princess?
As she explores the planet, Samus is granted mysterious and ancient powers.
Okay, yeah, I'm not crazy. That's what I was thinking.
Abilities.
Oh, dang.
These powers allow Samus to operate mechanisms and to open doors.
Could be, yeah. Monolith's been helping with a lot of Switch games this generation.
To control the trajectory of
Like beyond the own game or their own games that they're working on.
mind.
What?
But why were these powers
It's a
bestowed
peacock.
on Samus?
Dang, Samus got like that ESP power that Ness and Lucas have. Or the Force, yeah. Yo.
And what will be her
She is one with the Force. The Force is with her.
Euros? The threads intertwining beyond space and time are beginning to weave a new tale.
Release date. Ah, no release date. Yeah, I can see the Dark Crystal vibes. What's the release date? There's got to be more. I agree. Ooh, new suit. I agree, King. It does look fantastic. Interesting. No release date.
More challenges await Samus.
I'm still excited for it. Don't get me wrong.
You're looking forward
It looks
to
incredible.
exploring with Samus's new psychic abilities.
That's funny. Yeah, I guess the whole Phazon deal is over with Metroid Prime 3, so they had to give her a new power-up.
Ready to stir up some mischief?
That must be like a fall game at earliest.
Upon a time, there was a drab coffee shop that transformed into a magical potion cafe.
Oh, look, a Disney thing.
Potionista of the Cursed Cafe. You'll craft
Anyway, Metroid.
Disney
Yeah,
villains.
that looks really good.
Get to know them.
Graphics look great. New abilities look cool. Samus's new suit looks cool.
Strange elixirs.
Definitely buying that.
And serve them
My
to
opinion has not
visitors,
changed.
Including Ursula and Gaston. With help from Yzma, you can upgrade your ingredients to produce
Yeah.
wildly
Yeah,
wicked
I could see that being the Christmas game, but I don't know because they
can influence each
put that in the
story's
middle of the
plot.
presentation, so maybe there's something else really big that they're saving for the end, and that might come out after Metroid. Maybe.
Disney villains
New suit, who dis?
launches on Nintendo Switch later today.
It's funny you say that, Backline. We just completed 2 on this stream, and eventually we will play 3 if it gets voted for by our awesome followers. But the next game, excuse me, can't talk this morning. The next game we're planning to stream is Stray for the Switch.
During class, use magic circles to perform rituals. Play on brooms. And learn advanced
Not interested. Let's talk about Metroid some more.
training from skilled spellcasters.
So yeah, I think that, like Backline said, it's definitely late 2025 at this point, if they still don't have a release date for it. But
Take on various jobs to
yeah,
escape
it's like, will it be a
situations.
fall game? Actually, you know what? No, Backline, you might be right, because
Or use the spells you've learned to
it's
craft
more than
some
likely that
original
Pokemon
moves.
Legends ZA will be the fall game, because
Plus,
they like to release it like
incorporate
in
magic
September
together
to
in all-out
November
co-op.
timeframe. So yeah, maybe
Explore this
the big holiday
flexible
game
world
is
on the
Metroid.
road
We'll
to
see.
graduation and beyond.
Oh, thank you, Iris. Yeah,
Are
we
you
tried to
ready
stream it
for a
last night, but
spellbinding journey?
the stream kept crashing, likely due to a plugin I installed that
The
ended up being
moment
too powerful
begins
for
when
my
Witchbringer
computer to
launches the
handle.
Nintendo Switch this
So
holiday.
I was nervous that this stream would be doing the same thing, but yeah,
Action,
so far so good.
adventure, and arcade
Thank
games
goodness.
await.
So
On a fantastical
God
mission
willing,
to
we will be
eliminate the
streaming Stray
mysterious deity.
next
In
Wednesday
this
at
hand-drawn
7:30
platforming
Eastern.
adventure, you'll explore an expansive archipelago where nightmares and wonder collide. Upgrade your
What's
trusted game
this?
with magical parts, then use its abilities to find your own path through the
It's like Scrooge
enchanted world.
McDuck
Can
in
you
DuckTales.
uncover the secrets the archipelago holds? Find out when the Eternal Life of Goldman launches
Okay,
on
Zolan, I'll
Nintendo
keep that in
Switch
mind.
this holiday. Celebrate the 40th anniversary of Gradius with a collection of arcade shoot-'em-up games from across the series.
More classic games are always a good thing.
Include Gradius, Salamander, Life Force, Gradius 2, Gradius 3, and Salamander 2.
Actually, just talking about retro collections, I just bought Tetris Forever. Because some of my followers know this, but like I just got into Tetris within like the last, not even 2 years. I just never could understand it, but that's because I would always jump in instead of like playing a tutorial first. And I finally, like, it just clicked for me one day, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. I see why people love this so much now. We got DuckTales 2 before GTA 6. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, that game with the guy hopping around on the cane definitely reminds me of DuckTales. Also, I guess, reminds me of Cranky Kong from Tropical Freeze, because he does the same thing. But there was also this one game for DS. It was called, like, Henry Hatsworth and the Puzzling Adventure. I was almost thinking it was that, because he looked like an old explorer type of guy. So for a split second, I'm like, Henry Hatsworth sequel? Maybe? Yeah, that's true, Backline. Games are much more forgiving now. Though the challenge is still there for people who want it. Like, that's what roguelites are all about. That grueling challenge. This looks vaguely like Friday night. I'm scared. Okay, what is Friday Night Funkin'? Like, is that like a rhythm game? I've seen little clips of it, like, in my recommendations, but I've never, like, actually stopped to watch gameplay of it. I mean, the name's cool, and I like rhythm games, but don't really know much about that one. Maybe that could get announced for Switch at this presentation. Fun fact, there's a Mario Kart arcade game where Mamechi, the main Tamagotchi, is a playable character. Ooh, we did get Pokemon! Okay, I wasn't sure. Are they going to finally show some new Mega Evolutions? Oh, okay, yeah, I've seen a lot of mods. Again, in like the thumbnails of the videos. I'm so happy we got more Pokemon news. This is probably like one of the top 3 games I'm most excited for this year. Like, I know graphically it's not super impressive, but Legends Arceus had like a lot of really good ideas and was still very fun to play. So if they can capitalize on that in this game and make some further improvements, I will be a happy camper. Wow, they're actually giving us like a full trailer. I'm surprised. Like, we just got to look at this last month. Oh, phone alarm. Oh, okay. Interesting.
they might be hostile. If you sense
That's a very good question. Yeah, because I do keep buying games.
there are Pokemon that live outside wild.
I would say yes. It is still considered part of my
Some of
backlog.
them can even be found on
I don't have any plans to buy any new systems at the moment. And once Switch 2 comes out, this is technically going to be like a older generation system. So I figure as long as it's like Switch or older, it's in the backlog. That's not actually how it works, but that's my logic. Oh yeah, like I may forego the vote and actually just stream this regardless because I love these games so much. Like I'll be like, okay, we're putting the vote on hold, we're playing this. Only for Pokemon. And Smash Bros. And Pikmin. And Undertale. You get the point. Here we go. New ones, maybe? There is like a new battle thing they're talking about here, though, so this is different. Oh, okay.
Trainers who reach the top are said to have a wish granted.
Mega Chandelure could happen. I've heard rumors.
Day and night are two sides to Lumio City.
Halucha! I love that Pokemon. It's one of my favorites. It's like a luchador. I caught one named him Nacho. I want it! Yeah, I guess it is kind of like Battle Frontier in the streets. I'm happy they're emphasizing the battles because the only flaws I had with Legends Arceus, besides the graphics of course, were the fact that there were hardly any trainer battles and you couldn't battle your friends online. So it seems like battles will be a bigger focus in this one, which is perfect. Is this some WarioWare thing? Oh, Rhythm Heaven? Is this a new Rhythm Heaven? Yes, I do want to see. People have been asking for that. If it's Rhythm Heaven. That looks like, a lot of people don't know what Homestar Runner is, but that looks like one of the things from Homestar Runner. Like an old Flash cartoon from the early 2000s. I think it was like 3 of those guys. They're called the Dancing Brothers. Oh, look, it is the... Oh no, there's 4 of them. I'm like, it is the Dancing Brothers. This seems like Rhythm Heaven.
In this game, you might do almost anything, but you will need to do it in rhythm.
Oh. I guess there's like a little delay in the audio. Oh no, oh sorry, you're talking about the angle that they're facing. I gotcha. This, okay, that looks like Rhythm Heaven. I think we're gonna get new Rhythm Heaven, guys. Yep. Oh, that's gonna make so many people happy.
Rhythm Heaven Groove.
2026, dang! I didn't think the Switch would still be getting games then. Yeah, Sun Chaser, I'm sold too. I actually missed out on the last Rhythm Heaven that was for 3DS, and I've like regretted it ever since. Because that was going to be my introduction to the series. I think I played the demo, but that's all I've played. And I want to play more of these, so I'm very happy. Oh, what's this? They already got rid of gold coins. What else could they be doing?
With game cards, you can put a game featuring Mario in this Nintendo Switch system, and a Legend of Zelda game in this one.
Uh-huh.
Inserting the games you have on hand into any system you want.
Okay.
But what if digital games could be as flexible and convenient as game cards? Well,
I'm listening.
that's what we came up with. Introducing the virtual game card.
Nani?
In the future, virtual game cards can be used for digital games.
What? Is this good or bad? I don't know.
purchasing the digital version of a game, it will be loaded onto your system as a virtual game card,
Okay.
allowing you to play that title. Your digital games will be lined up as virtual game cards on a dedicated management screen.
Okay.
Here, you can load and eject your virtual game cards and manage which games you can play on your system.
Yeah, right, Zolan? I'm like, these are basically digital games. Like, how does this work?
If you have two Nintendo Switch systems, you can eject
Well, yeah, I'm sure if
game
it's
cards
if
from one
they're talking about it,
and load
it
onto the
works
second.
differently. But
Now you can play this game on the second system wherever and whenever you want, just as if you had inserted a physical game card. With virtual game cards, you can freely load and arrange which games you play on up to 2 systems.
so I only have one Switch, so I think that's why I'm a little lost. But I guess this is like a big benefit for those who have more than one. Oh, interesting. Okay, so this is really good then. Like you wouldn't have that situation where your save data doesn't carry over then. That's what it sounds like.
Family group member system via local wireless when you want to lend a game. Choose the title you're lending and who you're lending it to.
Oh, what? Okay, this is cool. Because it's like, yeah, it's like someone would be like, oh, can I borrow that game? And I'd be like, oh, I only have a digital copy, sorry.
You can only lend one game at a time to a particular.
So this literally lets you...
Games can be lent out for 2 weeks.
This is huge.
Automatically returned to you.
Yeah, like, Zol, you could lend me, like, Echoes of Wisdom or something.
Easy to use. Virtual game card.
Sorry for the distraction, Iris. Though I guess really Nintendo should be apologizing.
Virtual game card feature lets you swap games between Nintendo Switch systems.
No, this is actually huge, because,
Nintendo Switch 2 systems.
yeah, like, if you have a game that's digital only and a friend of yours wants to borrow it, like, you can literally do that now. You can't tell them the whole, oh, I only have a digital copy, sorry. I appreciate you guys tuning in while you're working. Oh, montage time. This game has the voice from Smiling Friends in it. Just little fun fact. That's like all I know about it. The voice actor from that show is in there. This looks like it could be interesting. Like Breath of the Wild with a hoverboard. Oh. That's like the Titans from Xenoblade. King of Meat, never heard of it. Will Super Meat Boy make an appearance? Luz Lagoon. Oh, so some of these are new because I never heard of like these last few. The Sandcrawler from Star Wars. There's Fantasy Life. Yeah, level 5 has like 4 games or so in development for Switch. I'm like, some of them have to show up here.
Once more.
Is this the Fire Emblem remake?
An HD remaster of Saga
Oh, no.
Frontier 2 is venturing on to Nintendo Switch.
Oh, hey, more Saga games.
Stop the Royal Air and Will the Explorer. 2 heroes whose
They should port over Wii Sports games to Switch.
across generations.
It's funny because Nintendo will insist, like, we did that. It's called Nintendo Switch Sports. But then everybody would be like, no, not the same.
Experience the original story.
I think I was a little quick to jump the gun and buy that game because I don't play it very much. I really only like whip it out at like gatherings.
Plus, team up with more characters in battle. And transfer stats
This looks
to
cool.
allies
Like graphically, I like the style. It's almost like HD 2D, but it's just like very high definition
You can test
pixels.
your mettle and might against
That might be
even
essentially the
more
same thing.
powerful bosses. What histories will you uncover through the ages?
Oh, gotcha.
Saga Frontier 2 Remastered launches on Nintendo Switch.
Well, for those who are working and those who are not, appreciate you tuning in all the same.
Monumental adventures await.
This is new. I've never seen this before.
Journeys across this series of beautiful puzzle games.
Actually, if they already have 2 of them, maybe it is like something that's already been out.
Optical illusions
I've never seen it.
and mystifying secrets to unfold. In Monument Valley, lead the
Huh.
silent princess
This looks very
Quest
indie.
for forgiveness, while enigmatic crow people. A
Ah.
different journey awaits in Monument Valley.
That's so
2.
metal.
Guide Rose
Oh,
into
they're
the
mobile
journey
games.
below,
Okay, that's why I'm not familiar.
as she
Not a
and her
big mobile
child
gamer.
unlock the secrets of the sacred geometry.
Though I don't have any issue with like mobile games being ported to Switch because then I get to actually try them. Like they recently brought this one Square Enix RPG called was it Fantasian Refantazio? I tried the demo of that. It was pretty good, but that was originally a mobile game. And oh, this is the second one. Okay. If we're talking mobile games, there's one that I really want them to bring to Switch. I don't know if they ever would, but for Apple Arcade, there's this Sonic game. I think it's called Sonic Dream Team. I would be perfectly happy playing that on Switch if they ever make a Switch version.
A brand new entry in the Everybody's Golf series is driving onto Nintendo Switch.
Iris, I take it you saw that Avengers Doomsday announcement with all the chairs?
Just right. And
That cast looks stacked. I actually counted. It's like 26 heroes plus Doctor Doom as the villain.
and other special shots.
If you count Loki as a hero, because he's in there. But I count it.
Challenge mode. Compete in tournaments and face off against a range of rivals to become the ultimate golfer. In
Yeah, tell me about it.
golf, your shots could get
I hope this puts Marvel back on the map.
or obstacles might fall. It's golf
If I could be a robot, I would. Means I can upgrade myself. Give myself a panini maker in my arm. That's next level, Zolan.
or in online play.
Everybody's all like, I want lasers or rocket boosters. You're like, no, panini maker.
And get ready to tee off.
You got your priorities in order.
Everybody's Golf Hot Shots
Mini fridge in my leg.
this year.
So your leg would basically be an Xbox One? Or Xbox Series, whatever they're called now?
Unite some of Marvel's greatest superheroes in the fight against evil.
Oh.
2 heroes from the roster of 15, including the likes
Oh,
of
snap. This looks kind of cool.
Spider-Man and the ferocious Wolverine to take on the challenge. From close quarters combat.
Man, a lot of these franchises are getting like retro style beat 'em ups now.
Heroes for an amazing array of possibilities.
Funny that we were just talking about Marvel too, and then this shows up. Did we kind of like summon it here?
Take advantage of your team's strengths to overwhelm.
This is like Marvel vs. Capcom if it's a beat 'em up.
Up to 4 players can assemble for local or online co-op play.
Yeah, because we had Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge. We had the Power Rangers one. I think I saw there's even like a Terminator one. So it's like everybody's doing like, oh, yeah, Dotemu, that's who made Shredder's Revenge.
That was Marvel Cosmic Invasion, where you'll battle as a tag team.
Oh, I'm
of
getting
different
this.
superheroes. Next is our last game announcement. Please
Oh, wow, we're already almost done. That went by so fast. What is this? Animal Crossing? Okay, probably. Oh my god, Zolan, did you just get your wish? Is this Miitopia?
How refreshing.
No. This is like Tomodachi Life, the other Mii game. This might be something new. Oh, it is Tomodachi Life. Full disclosure, I never played that game either. But I know a lot of people wanted a new one. Interesting. I was not expecting a new Rhythm Heaven and a new Tomodachi Life.
Did you want to talk?
Oh, good. It was all just a dream.
That was only a dream.
That was Tomodachi Life Living the Dream. The first new entry in the
Interesting.
series in over 10 years.
Yeah, it's been a while.
In the trailer, we saw Mii characters living on an island out at sea. What kinds of interactions do you think?
Yeah, that's gonna make a lot of people happy.
We hope you're
I am shocked. Yeah, Iris, I am shocked that it's another 2026 game. So the Switch is not going to stop getting games.
Thank you for watching today's Nintendo Direct so far.
So far, wait a minute.
Our final announcement is something a little different that's not.
I thought
expected.
Tomodachi was the final announcement.
Mr. Miyamoto to introduce it.
Oh, is this about the Mario movie?
Thank you for watching today's Nintendo Direct. Since 2011, Nintendo Direct has delivered Nintendo news directly.
Oh, gotcha, backline. Okay.
Now, these presentations have grown into an event that many people watch.
Yeah, one of the YouTubers I watched was saying that they could show Mario movie
We'll
news.
continue to broadcast Nintendo Direct presentations, but we're also launching a new channel based on the concept of delivering information to you directly.
Ooh, tell me more.
This is a smart device app called Nintendo Today, which functions
Ochi!
like a calendar. In the app, you can view different Nintendo events. We will also be delivering all sorts of content about Nintendo games and characters every day.
This is interesting.
After the Nintendo Direct for Nintendo Switch 2,
Can't say anyone predicted this.
news about Nintendo Switch 2 will be delivered to you daily and directly through the Nintendo Today.
I know, I have Twitter too.
Nintendo Today will be available to download on smart devices later today.
I don't know. I mean, if it's free, I might download it, but it's probably gonna end up like Nintendo Music. Like, how often am I gonna actually use it?
That's all I have to share. I hope you enjoy using Nintendo Today.
Yeah, Nintendo is very much like big into the infiltrating all aspects of your life business.
Thank you for watching.
That's why they got like Alarmo and stuff. Wow, that was like not what I was expecting at all. I mean, we got Pokemon and Metroid. At the very least, like I was expecting one of those. Poor old guy. He doesn't even understand how it works. Dude, Miyamoto's like busy with theme parks and movies now. He's moved on from games. he's off to other ventures now. But yeah, that was the last Nintendo Direct of the Switch era. I don't even play my Switch a lot, so I don't think I'm getting that. Oh yeah, fair. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad that they did a presentation at least, because the Switch has literally been going strong for 8 years. It's Nintendo's best selling console. Probably has the best library of a Nintendo console, in my opinion. So I'm like, I wanted it to have like some kind of swan song before we move on to the Switch 2. So, I mean, kind of ended with a whimper, if I'm being honest. Yeah, like you said, Zolan, 7 out of 10. All 7 stars from Tomodachi Life. Yeah, not like the most hype thing. And I'm shocked. Like, there were so many rumored remakes and remasters, and we got none of them. I thought at least one of them was true. Like, the Kirby Robobot remaster everyone's been talking about, that didn't show up. There was a rumor about a Fire Emblem remake or remaster, one of the two, didn't show up. No Metroid Prime 2 or 3, so I'm pretty surprised at that. Yeah. And if I may add, backline, also Pokemon Legends ZA. I feel like that will also be like a heavy hitter, which is good. Pokemon needs like a hit that everybody likes, and I hope that'll be it. But yeah, I mean, Rhythm Heaven I think was probably the biggest surprise for me, and maybe like that Marvel beat 'em up, just because I do like Shredder's Revenge and Marvel vs. Capcom. So definitely will get that. Oh yeah! Oh my God, Sun Chaser. Yeah, there was no Silk Song. Um, yeah, agreed. That's a very good point, Iris. But yeah, Sun Chaser. There was no Silk Song, and honestly, one thing that I was like predicting that not a lot of people were talking about is we're still waiting on Deltarune Chapter 3 and 4. Like, that's been in development for what feels like forever. So I'm very surprised that. I mean, they could be saving those for an indie direct. I think if anything, the indie games still have a shot at showing up. But yeah, I was thinking like Silk Song would be a perfect game for the Switch's Swan Song. Jury's still out on Pokemon because how mixed the previous games have been. Yeah, I'm having hope in Legends ZA though, because Legends Arceus maybe didn't look that great, but was very fun to play. It was definitely like my favorite Switch Pokemon game. So, and this game already is going to have more trainer battles, which was like one of my biggest gripes with Legends Arceus. So that gives me hope that this will be even better. I could be wrong, but I have a lot of hope in that game. Yeah, I think if they are going to do another indie direct that includes Switch 1 titles, they will probably show off Deltarune, Silk Song. Also, there's this game called UFO 50, which is actually like 50 games in one on Steam. That needs to come to Switch. Like, Switch players will eat that up, and I really hope they do bring it. It's not very graphically demanding either. At least 2 Switch 2 boosts. Yeah. Yeah, you know what's funny? Yeah, Pokemon would be in good hands with Monolith, definitely. I've also like thrown out Bandai Namco because I saw a while back that Bandai Namco opened some studio specifically for Nintendo games, and the work they did on like Pokken Tournament and new Pokemon Snap was fantastic. Oh yeah, yeah, that's essentially Pal World. Yep. Um, though actually there is like some action RPG element in Legends ZA because you actually move with your Pokemon and you have to be like in the right spot for the attacks to hit. So that looks interesting. But what was I talking about before? Oh, I just lost my thought. Give it to Capcom. Pokemon Hunter. Oh yeah, that was it. So Bandai Namco, yeah, like if you look at Pokken Tournament and new Pokemon Snap, like they both look very vibrant, very full of life. The Pokemon have never animated better in a game. They just like look like they're ripped straight from the anime and given the HD treatment. So I feel like Bandai Namco, at least in the graphical department, would do a very good job making a Pokemon game. And I don't know, yeah, we still don't know what they're working on in that special studio. Maybe like a Kid Icarus Uprising remake, who knows? Um, but I feel like they would be able to make the Pokemon feel more lifelike than Game Freak does, hands down. Capcom needs to give us a new Mega Man game. Yep, yep. Isn't that weird how like Mega Man is showing up in all sorts of stuff, but an actual Mega Man game? Like I mentioned Secret Level earlier. There's a whole Mega Man episode in that show, and then he shows up as like a guest character in all these different games. Just interesting to me that like they're promoting him so heavily, but not giving him a new game. Plus, like super random fun fact, but the number 12 is my favorite number. So I kind of like want them to make a Mega Man 12 just for the sake of it. Like 11's just a weird number to end on, in my opinion. That's how you feel about anything Konami related. Yeah, Konami's in a weird spot. I was listening to a podcast recently, the Kit and Krista podcast, and they were saying like Kit on the show is a former Konami employee, also former Nintendo employee. They both are. But he was saying like how he doesn't really know what's going on with Konami beyond like the Metal Gear remake they're doing, the new Silent Hill, and then like they showed off like this one game that looks like Inside, the indie game, but like with an octopus as the character. It's just weird, yeah. It's like what they like. Even he was like, "What is Konami doing? Like, what is their strategy here?" Because it's just kind of random, the stuff they're putting out. They are milking Mega Man for nostalgia money. Yep. Oh yeah, yeah. He also appeared in that Funko Fusion game. Like you can play as Mega Man in that as like a Funko Pop version of him. So he's appearing in all this other stuff. I think he was in Brawlhalla, but he's not in an actual Mega Man game. So I don't know what they're waiting for there. But yeah, we'll see. And also, we were talking about Bandai Namco. They opened that studio for Nintendo games. We still also haven't seen what Sakurai's next big game is. I was thinking of that because Bandai Namco also helps with Smash Bros. So whatever Sakurai's working on, that must be for the Switch too then, because it wasn't shown off here. But yeah, if I were to rate this, I don't know. I never really rated a Nintendo Direct before. Like this is the first one I've streamed. But definitely like what Zolan gave, a 7, is probably like the highest I would go for this one. Rhythm Heaven's a big deal. Tomodachi Life's a big deal. I'm happy we got more info on Metroid Prime and Pokemon. But then even with those, like that was like the bare minimum I was expecting. And we didn't get a release date for either one. They still just say like 2025 or late 2025. So yeah, I don't know. 7 tops, maybe even a 6 for this one. And then, like I mentioned before the stream, some games I was hoping to see, like Capcom Fighting Collection 2, Trails in the Sky remake, Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, one of the biggest games I'm hyped for this year. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4. We didn't see any of those. Like I literally made like a whole like a mini lineup for a Nintendo Direct and we didn't get any of those games. 6.5, yeah. That's a fair grade. I can agree with that. So, but at the same time, I'm just happy we got something for the Switch before we move on to the Switch 2 next week. Because the Switch is like the biggest thing Nintendo ever put out. It deserves some kind of swan song. Even if it's going out on a whimper, at least it went out with something. Oh, really? You think so? Because, like, the thing is for me, I primarily play on my Switch. I don't, my PC that I'm streaming on right now isn't really a gaming PC. So I know all the Trails games are on PC, but I was just excited to be able to, like, experience Trails in the Sky in, like, a portable format. The turbo update for the PC version was really the only thing needed. Interesting. Oh, yeah, yeah, and that's true. Yeah, I am very shocked that they're still going to have Switch 1 games coming out in 2026. I mean, technically, we only know of like 4 Nintendo games now, with the 2 new ones that were announced. But yeah, that's very interesting that they're still going to be working on it. But I mean, Sony does that. Don't they like make PlayStation 4 and 5 games simultaneously? So Nintendo could definitely do that and still make a lot of money. Oh no no, Backline. Yeah, they are doing a full remake of Trails in the Sky, the first chapter. So it's gonna have like almost like Trails of Cold Steel graphics, or yeah, I would say Cold Steel, or what's the new one? Daybreak or something like that. Yeah, it's like those kind of graphics. I've heard that some folks still play their Wii, so it tracks that Nintendo would want to keep value in their Switch 1 console. Oh yes, okay, it was Daybreak. Yeah, I played the demo of that. Yeah. So I mean, honestly, strategically, at least it makes sense because talking about the Trails remake still, because a lot of people got into Trails through like Cold Steel or a later entry. So even though Backline, like you mentioned, Trails in the Sky has a very solid port on PC, maybe like console only players never got around to it, and so like this is their way of getting the beginning of the story now that they've already kind of dived in with later entries. So I mean, strategically it makes sense to just kind of get everybody the beginning of the story, learn who Estelle and Joshua are, so forth. And yeah, it'll be my introduction to it because I started with Trails of Cold Steel, and then I think I have Cold Steel 1 through 3, and I have Nayuta. I think those are all the Trails games I have right now. Okay, yeah, good. I've heard that like the characters in that one are very beloved by Trails fans. So, and yeah, those games all have a fantastic story. It's like playing an anime. So, very excited for that. But yeah, so going back to what Iris was saying, I'm just happy the Switch got something. I was not expecting it to be within a week of the Switch 2 presentation, but at least now we're left with like no question of what's coming for the original Switch, and we can just focus on what's coming for Switch 2, the new era, so to speak. But yeah, wow. So I think we only got like 2 new first party game announcements. So at this current moment, yeah, Nintendo's only working on 4 games for the original Switch. Everything else is Switch 2. I only played Sky 1, but that's just because of my crippling disability of poverty. Oh, yeah, those games, they are definitely a money investment, but man, a time investment. Like, yeah, if you were to play like the entire Trail Saga, which I think the first half is like 10 games, yeah, that's a serious time commitment. I'll drink to that. Yes. Yeah, that's why I don't have like a modern system beyond the Switch. I'm like, one thing about this channel is that because Iris was asking earlier about the backlog, Um, I'm the kind of gamer that will only buy one system per generation, but will like buy a mess of games for that system. Like I'll get like everything that I want to play for that one system. And then once like the next generation rolls around, I'll get a new system and just buy games for that. So I don't know where I was going with that. Somebody rang the doorbell just now, so it kind of distracted me. But yeah, that's where I'm at with the backlog. So now that Switch 2 is coming out, we'll see if I end up getting a new system, whether it's like a PS5 or the Switch 2. I think this is where I was going with the thought. But at the moment, I think I'm just going to stick to the systems that I have now because I want to clear the backlog. That's the whole point of this channel. And then if I get something new later, probably be like when it's like discounted or something. They're not a lot on Steam like they are on sale constantly. I'm just trying to save money. No, that's fair. I mean, just because everything is available doesn't mean you have to buy everything. So I totally get that. That's a tempting thought, Iris. Yeah, I could possibly do that. Because everything on my Switch 1 will work with the Switch 2. But I want to buy everything. I know, we can't always get what we want, Backline. I feel you, though. I commend you for prioritizing other things over this super fun hobby. But, yeah. So, and yeah, the only reason I was going on that rant was just because, you know, we're talking about the future of the Switch. Kind of begs the question, well, what about the future of this channel? So, yeah, at the moment, pretty much all the backlog games we have are for Wii, GameCube, PS3, and Switch. Maybe a handful on PC. But as far as like if I were to get another system, it's either going to be Switch 2 or PS5, and I have not. If you were to ask me like yesterday, I would say I'm leaning towards PS5. But after the Switch 2 presentation, that could change. We'll see. You know what? You should get the hit multiplayer game Repo. That cuts to the core, Zolan. Too real, too real. But yeah, so I think that's about it for our stream today. This isn't the only stream I'll be doing. There's also a short presentation for this indie game called Cassette Beasts that I really like. If you don't know what Cassette Beasts is, it's basically an indie Pokemon game with some really good ideas that maybe Pokemon themselves should adopt. I really enjoyed it. It's like one of the top 3 indie games that I've played so far, though I'm still catching up on a lot of the hits. But yeah, Cassette Beasts, definitely in the top 3. So at noon, I plan to stream the Cassette Beasts presentation because, hey, they had that time slot first. Nintendo announced this presentation like yesterday. Cassette Beasts announced it like a week ago. So I'm like, you know what? Only fair. I'm going to stream their thing too because I love their game and they had that time slot first. So I figure I'll show them some love live on stream. So yeah, if you guys want to hop on later, even while if you want to do like a work lurk or something, I will be streaming the Cassette Beasts presentation at noon Eastern. Probably like start the stream a little before that. And besides that, I do also want to give a shout out to Backline Front for following. It's been fun having you here, and I appreciate you joining the channel. Hope you enjoy the content we have here. We do live streams every Wednesday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, and I will also be streaming the Switch 2 Direct, which is this upcoming Wednesday. So you get 2 streams this upcoming Wednesday, provided that nothing breaks. So, and the next game again that we'll be streaming is Stray for Switch. But yeah, thank you Backline, thank you King, Zolan, Iris, Sunchaser. I believe that's everyone. All the lurkers. Thank you for tuning in and watching our stream. For witnessing this moment in history, even though it's kind of a downer in a sense. It is still a moment in history. It's the last direct focused entirely on the original Switch. And I am happy that Nintendo at least gave it something before they move on to their next era. So, Victory Screech! All right, guys. Well, have a good evening. Have a great work day if you're working. I said evening. Have a great rest of your day. I say that my streams are usually at night. That's why I say evening. And yeah, if anyone's available, by all means, we'll be back at noon for the Cassette Beast presentation. But until then, have a great rest of your day, and thanks again for tuning in.